About 2 months ago, I got shadow banned on the Facebook Marketplace, and the easiest way for me to tell that this happened was that I could no longer renew my Marketplace listings via my desktop machine on a browser. And funnily enough now, 2 months later, I've been completely unbanned, and the reason I got banned in the first place was because I put in some stupid words that sort of wanted to have fun with the listing, spice it up a little bit, but then in hindsight I realized I'd used some words that could have set off their algorithm, and in turn that could have costed me a shadow ban, which in turn costs you a lot of exposure. If you guys haven't seen that video, then I'll put the link up here where I talk about things to look out for so you don't get banned in the first place. And put it this way, in Australia, Facebook Marketplace is a really good place to sell some used gear. And in my case, when I sell a used PC, it far outweighs sales of Gumtree when I compare the two head to head. So for me personally, it's very important to have any listing up on Facebook Marketplace and have a healthy account in a healthy standing, because it's ultimately going to be my hustle that's going to come to a brick wall if I'm not able to sell on the marketplace. And believe me, I'm not an avid Facebook user. I actually haven't posted up anything on my personal account on my timeline for I think over 3 years now. So pretty much I actually just kind of use it for the marketplace. Anyway, what happens on Facebook Marketplace is I believe there's actually 3 phases of being banned. The first is a soft ban, where you'll lose your renewal listings on Marketplace on the desktop, but you'll still be able to renew your listings on your smartphone. And your ads will actually get deranked to others who have a healthier, and I put quotation marks around that, account standing than you do. And so you don't want to set off the algorithm to get first phase of banning, because it'll limit your exposure. The second phase is where your ads just simply don't get viewed by basically anyone. And this is what happened to me initially 2 months ago, where I'd list an ad and literally no one would see it. It'd be pushed right down the bottom of the marketplace. That's pretty much the second phase of being shadow banned on the Facebook Marketplace, or at least I believe. And here's the kicker, I don't think anyone knows truly what the algorithm is on Marketplace besides the people who designed it. And of course, they're not going to tell anyone how it works, because then people will most likely abuse it and whatnot. And then there's the third phase, and that's when you can't even get access to the marketplace altogether. And the problem here is if this happens, apparently there's a fix where you can go and say there's a problem on my marketplace. If you report that you're having problems, and they might fix it within a week or 2 weeks. But in my case, I believe I got put into the category of a phase 2 shadow ban, and after about 2 weeks, I then got the first phase lifted. And so basically the only way to fix this is time, or if you've got another person at your house or family member or a friend and you can use their account, then you may be able to circumvent it that way. But the problem is then Facebook still logs IPs. So if they see that behavior happening on the same IP address, then those said accounts might get shadow banned as well. So do be careful with how you try to get around it. For me personally, when I initially got shadow banned on the Facebook Marketplace, I just simply had Computex coming up, and that was pretty much 2 weeks out of my way anyway. And when I got back from overseas, I then found that my listings were getting a little bit healthier. They weren't doing as well as they did before the shadow ban happened, but they were doing okay. I was able to still get a sale here and there. And then recently, in the last week, I've noticed that my renewals have come back on my desktop, so it's completely been lifted. And I'm getting some messages from other people asking me how they got unbanned, hence the reason why I'm doing this video. And people are messaging me that they still don't have the renewal options available on desktop. So the only way to go about this is simply time, and that's the only way I'd recommend doing things, and of course sticking to things that don't trigger off a shadow ban in the first place. And so we'll quickly go over those things here, but what I will say is how to get yourself unbanned is you can try and reach out for support, but on Facebook Marketplace, it takes ages to get a response. There's no help desk. There are people that may respond within a week or 2 weeks, so your mileage may vary on how that goes. But in the meantime, I would just go about using Facebook normally and keeping your listings very simple with safe words. And what I mean by safe words is if you're listing something, just stick to what the product's about. Stick, for instance, if it's a gaming PC, just put up there maybe fast gaming PC or PC with i5 or RX 570, and just keep it really simple. Don't put in any fancy words like absolute bargain in caps or the bargain of a lifetime or anything like that, because you will then trigger the algorithm with too many caps or words that they feel are unusual for that particular listing. So when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, keep it simple, keep it straight to the point, don't use too many caps, and don't use emojis. That's my advice for not getting shadow banned in the first place. But anyway, after my initial episode over 2 months ago, it took me, again, roughly 2 months to get completely unbanned to having my account back to a normal status. Now, I'm sure behind the scenes, there's still probably something on my account that is there. It's probably like a warning. So if I do something like this again, the ban may even be longer. Because in my experience, other sites that do ban you, or for instance, a game account that I had ages ago, you get like World of Warcraft will give you a warning, and then the next time it'll be worse, and then the next time after that it'll be pretty much a permanent ban. So you've got to be careful. This first time, how I did it was I just went to taking out all the fancy words, getting back to normal, and then just using Facebook Marketplace normally without spamming any capital words, emojis, or of course, listing too many things at once. And that's another point I'm going to make. Don't go out listing things every day. I'd say on average, try to stick to no more than 1 listing every 3 days. This is what I've talked to with friends and people who use it. We've all been shadow banned in the past, and these are the things that we've sort of noticed and we're sort of stuck by to not get shadow banned. So I've just been going about doing things in a safe way, I guess, on Facebook Marketplace, and now my account's fully lifted and I'm getting a lot more exposure on my ads, to the point where I had a gaming PC listed in my last parts hunt and it sold within 10 minutes. But basically, in closing out the video, I know it sucks if you've been banned, but my advice would be, if you want to try and get unbanned, is just simply wait or do the best you can. Put in a ticket, only put in 1 ticket to the Facebook help desk, and then just follow what I've said in this video and stick to doing your thing. Don't go and overreact, and don't try and relist things 100 more times, because you could only make things worse. So stick to just doing what you do. Try and look up some things like words to avoid. For instance, I know when I was doing my marketplace, initially I used like big ticket item and MLG, and that was on a gaming PC ad, but I think the algorithm put the ticket and the MLG together, and then it banned me because it thought I was trying to sell tickets to an event. And so that's how it works, where it triggers the algorithm and then it just subsequently shadow bans you depending on what you've done. So really be careful when you're listing on this site. But with that said, the marketplace in Australia is a really powerful tool for selling gaming PCs. And this is my specific example. I don't know if you're selling other things on marketplace like jewelry or whatever you're doing. Just try and learn what other sellers are doing. If they've been on the top of marketplace for a long time, maybe just look at the words that they're using and what they're doing to not get shadow banned, and then just copy paste. I mean, don't literally copy paste their ad because they're going to get angry, but just look at the words they're using, look at the style, and then yeah, you should be bound for success. Anyway guys, with all that aside, I've been unzucked on the marketplace, and as I said in the intro, Gumtree versus Facebook, 2 completely different kettles of fish. I found the marketplace is a lot stronger, especially for budget-orientated PCs under $1,000. In terms of Gumtree, you've got a lot more flexibility there. I've never really been shadow banned on Gumtree, and from what I know, there's a lot of other people that literally will relist their stuff every single day and they haven't got banned at all. So Gumtree, at least in Australia, seems to be a lot more lenient than the marketplace, but in terms of the 2, marketplace is a lot more powerful. So you can learn which system and how it works and then work your magic on that system. But when it comes to other selling sites like Craigslist or Letgo, I don't have really much experience at all with them. because in Australia, it's pretty much just Marketplace and Gumtree that are powerful tools for selling stuff. And with that aside, I hope this helped you guys out. If it did, or if you just enjoy the content, then be sure to hit that like button for us. And with that aside, I'll catch you in another tech video very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.